be the best damn lover you got. I wanna mess up your covers. I don't wanna meet your mother. Never ever ask me how I've been. Remember why you have my number. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. I ain't got no time for romance, but baby I don't want to lead you on. Not looking for something steady, not ready for that. I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. Make a move. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. Make a move. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, let me level with you, let me be in your crew. I just wanna be free, be with people like me. I'm so not in the mood to be broken and blue. I just wanna go dance, baby find me some romance. I don't wanna talk tonight, I don't wanna waste another night. I just wanna hit the floor.
Life goes up and it goes down. Life goes up and it goes down. Life goes up and it goes down.
Lovely grab out.
Welcome everybody back to Limerick EUC 2023. You're on ulti.TV. I'm Stefan Rapazzo and I'm here with Christina Obermeyer. We've got an open round game, the end of the first round of pool play. Who do we got in front of us, Christina?
We've got France playing Austria. They, as you said, last game of the pool play round, Austria have to win this. They are currently 2-0. France with 1 win and 1 loss. So it's good for France to win it. It's absolutely important for Austria to win it if they want to go up.
Yeah, this is a must win. We will break down the math later as this game goes on, but there are a whole lot of sticky situations that could unfold from this one. For now, the Austrians start the game on attack as the French chase their pull. Spalholz, the big man from Vienna, comes under, and he gets the next look to Novak. Oh, Delal comes in and a slow down towards the disc there by Collante as he just didn't show the urgency that Delal did, and a early turn in favor of the French.
And there's some kind of call. Stop the play on the field. But that layout D was impeccable by Delal.
The bid stands. Delal gets the D for his team, and Roger of the Axel variety picks up the disc. Abita gets it on the under. I think there was a fingernail on that. It had a little wobble from Rapotnik's large wingspan. Now Roger goes to Michotet. Pick called as indicated by the double bicep flex.
Bit of a longer discussion for a pick, but people will find their positions and the disc is checked back in.
Delal, the block getter, comes under. Now it's Bonnet. Bonnet feeds Abita, and they're chipping away meter by meter here. Stangenik, and then Delal in power position. Delal gets the gainer. That one sticks. And it's Roblet. These French have found the hair dye last night and peroxided their way onto this field. Delal to Roblet. He's winding up the hammer. It looked like he was anyways. He put it away. It's Delal again. Now Bonnet, rather Abita, and he finds the corner. And it is Stangenik who cashes in the goal for the French.
A big fake opened up that break side continuation just on the front corner of the end zone, and France start with the best way possible with a break. And they also tired out the Austrians' O-line for quite a bit. It wasn't an easy break. They had to work and grind and push the Austrian O-line's defense very far.
Yeah, starting exactly how you wanted to in both senses. Really a defensive get like that, a layout D to start things off, 3 throws into a sequence. You can't ask for much more than that, and then to be able to convert, the French sit in a nice little starting position. Of course, 1-0, there is so much game to play. So much that can transpire, but why not kick things off on the right foot like the French have?
Yeah, the Austrians seemed like they weren't quite here yet. That run-through block, or like layout block rather, made possible by someone not quite running through the disc to catch it.
Run through, run through. Those are the old instructions. Run to, run through. The old instructions that I always used to hear, and that was not the case there. Now the Austrians, Fischer goes around. Kleinapple gives to the corner and gets it again. Ernst and then Fischer again. He looks for the gainer. Novak is there. Novak jacks it. He's got a receiver in the area, and it's down in the hands of Selemond. And Austria efficient on their second try.
Yeah, different look from the French. A zone setup, and that looked easy, over the top and arcing into the hands of the intended targets every single time. First to Novak and then Selemond with the score to even it up. It's interesting. and I like putting up a zone early and trying different looks. So you see those blade come through, and Novak just puts it on the platter. Defense is there actually to try and put pressure on,
But great, like you said, great position. They've already shown 2 defensive looks 2 points into the game. The score's 1-1. They've got the advantage with the break, and they're showing a little bit of polyvalence to ensure that the Austrians, no matter what, will not be able to assume comfort in what they're going to see.
and of course, France has 3 different lines of 7 players each. So every single line we see here could be a very differently coached and put together line. So we never know what to expect.
So here come the French. Prior Martin. He comes to the side. He's got Chevalier. Into the middle for Cheret, who fakes the big and then goes to Giffard. Wearing the French colors as a bow in his Viking braid. Chevalier. Ebreto, he goes deep. It's Giffard on his chase. That was a beautiful throw by Ebreto, and Giffard just had to keep running.
Put on a platter for Giffard, and it looked like they were swinging around and just trying to get to a power position and to get the perfectly timed cut and then put it. And it wasn't really about gaining yards and slowly moving up the field. They were always happy about just playing the disc within themselves in the handler set, including all players on the field, and then in the right position at the right moment, get that cut we see here and put it out into space. And Giffard just on the sideline, but easily collected for the score.
So 2-1.
See what defensive look France will put the O-line, the Austrian O-line through now.
Here they come. Rapotnik takes off at a pace, but it gets the under to Spalholz. Then he whips it. That's gone deep to Colantes. He wound up to bid, but it was just that much in front and not available.
That shot very zippy, but a nice one to take, and I think that's definitely one you can take and expect Colantes to get home with, but verweigert is what we would have said in German. Like, just didn't
Too
do
bad.
it. Yeah.
Unlucky.
Nice.
Unlucky. I know a lot of my players have translated that to mean otherwise when I say it. Michotet to Roger. Delal goes deep. It's Bonnet in that space, and that looks like it's gonna work, but it's gonna need an exceptional layout to actually work. Wow, making plays, Elliot Bonnet.
Yeah, what a beautiful put there. I thought it was a little too far, but this is how you come up with those shots. Just put your receiver in the spotlight. That disc over the right shoulder and bidding with that right hand as well. Trailing edge grab for Bonnet.
Look at this again. Take off, launching.
This is spot on.
And he's not too upset about that. It looked like, when it went up, I was like, all he's going to have to do is run under that. I thought it was a little bit more perfect. The wind is pushing that way a bit, pushed it just a bit beyond, but Bonet says, I got you covered. I will haul that one in and ensure you look good, Marco Delal, for throwing that.
Look pretty good.
Yeah.
Although in these situations, one never looks at the thrower. It's always the receiver.
3-1 now. That's another break for the French.
Yeah, and I would really love Austria to step up on defense.
Of course you would, Christina.
I
Of
just-
course you would.
I want to have a fun game.
Just for that, me too, of course.
And of course, I am biased. I'm Austrian.
That's
Can't
allowed.
really, yeah.
Austrian expertise / bias. Klein Apple gets the underneath. Breitenthaler gets Novak. Now Dunschern fakes the scuba and goes back to Novak. And then Fischer. Fischer breaks inside. Novak with a handy catch there. Then over top and in the corner for the goal, Jacob Dunschern.
Yeah, Jacob Dunschern taking control of this offensive point here. Of course, a player on Gut and has stepped up in his role on that mixed team for this last season, and we can really see how he can take over. And there's Kais Mate.
Yeah,
with
you get the sideshow bob hair in the shot there. But let's have a look at this replay.
Fischer looking for an option, and I know Dunschern made a cut there that is looked off to go to Novak instead, and Dunschern from one side of the pitch runs to the other side, actually putting his hand up in the air, trying to communicate, hey, I want this point, give me that score. And there you go. Shout out to Shannon Ices.
The always ambitious, hoping to sell those ice creams in this sunny Limerick weather. But you got to be in it to win it. And they're going to set up every day and see how that goes. I will have a Shannon Ice before my time here is done.
I'll hold you to that.
That's one of the easiest claims I've ever made.
I bet.
And that one does land in a short pole. It climbs up the hill a tiny bit. And Ebreto will try and find a way back into the field.
Some are calling it out, and I'm not so sure what the...
Okay, this is where it went out. If it landed out on the full, nice high release by Hebreto, finds Benvenien. Now Cheret, 10 meters out, engages behind. Chevalier with the disc. Chevalier does a full 360 pivot, then finds Cheret. Chevalier in the dump space. Cheret. He gets Giffard open in the middle. Giffard breaks to the other side, and it's Benvenien. Benvenien goes wide. Herbreto is there despite the bidding defender. French get back in the end zone.
Yeah, they had a very short field to work with. Didn't even need the setting up for the big hook. Just had to play their small ball and, you know, putting people into spaces and moving the disc from one side to the other, and they did that to perfection. Giffard going on into the middle of the pitch here, and then with that lefty flick, I believe, into the end zone, and Kaufmann bids, but he was never going to get there. That pass was just too good, put into space very well. And I think we have a little bit of rain adding to...
Wow, I'm so
weather.
surprised by that.
Are you?
No.
Limerick weather has shown us that in 5 minutes it can go wild rain to sun, cloudy, and super windy. And we will not have that weather forever, not for
4
long.
seasons in a day, I've heard. You get 4 seasons in an hour around here.
Maybe even less than an hour.
We're pushing mid-autumn right now. And that pull comes down. Here comes the Austrian attack trying to steady their ship. Kleinapple goes to the sideline to Digger. He gets Colantes and now Spalholz. A mountain of a man goes high, but second effort there. Back into the center. Spalholz again. Colantes happy to throw his body around for that one. Sideline, and it is Ernst who goes down into the corner to pick up the goal.
Very typical role from Ernst, not really laying out, but rather, putting all of his body in a little bundle, rolling around for the score. And this is the first clean hold for Austria.
They're going to like that. They're going to need a bit more of that, and they're going to need even more to do something with their defense now that they've given them the rare opportunity to get onto this field.
Yeah, nice.
Not that rare, but it's not that rare of an opportunity, but it will be the third time they get that D-line on by virtue of holding.
See that tumble from Colantes, setting up the line for Ernst.
Of course, keen eye on the other game. We got this whole pool on stream right now. And Ireland, Spain, 3-2. Oh no, different pool.
But
pardon me, but both of these pools are the two contentious pools, we'll say.
I was just going to say that other game is as important.
Yes, this, of course, we'll talk about that in a second. Bouchon and Mate. Back to Bouchon. He goes deep. Roger is there and has space. And that one is not quite in. Yes, it is. Was that one throw later it went in to Chris Red, or was that a goal by Quentin Roger? We'll tell you after the replay, but with this weather, my head didn't get quite stuck out. Here it is again. And there is the confirmation. There was no other throw. That was a goal by Crash Roger.
Sliding and making sure his feet are in bounds. Not afraid to get a little dirt on his shirt. But yeah, beautiful put by Bouchon. I didn't actually know he was main handler on that line, or he was in a position there.
Yeah, he was staying behind the disc. I don't see Luca as a handler, maybe playing a role behind the disc a bit more, but I do see him more utilized upfield, but as a primary and initiator. But he's quite versatile. He's upping his game every new game he plays, every new season. He's doing a bit more in most aspects of the game, so it's good to see. Oh! Cheré says no way. That one goes to ground. First pass layout D. And France has another look at a break here already. Ben Vignen picks up. Ben Vignen goes wide, but it's back. Novak bids, and Giffard says there was some contact. We might get another look at this one. Here it is. Oh, that's a tough claim by Giffard by that look.
It looked like the bid was late enough for Novak not to impact the body that much.
Looked like there was enough separation between the two. I wouldn't hate another look. Here it is again. Ooh, I don't know if he's calling a strip, perhaps. Like, I think Giffard did touch the disc.
I think so too, but we can really. It's a really bad position for us to say, because this is exactly where the thrower is, and this shot here, and I know he's making this motion of clap catching it, but we cannot see whether he had control of that disc already.
Good thing it's not up to us to make the call on it. It goes back to Ben Vignen. He goes wide, Albreto. And Chevalier looks wide. Is that one in? Yes, it is. Lièvre celebrates, chucking it in the air. And the French put their 6th point on the board to 3 for the Austrians.
That was unfortunate and just a bad decision to, like, if the ball lands just in front of your feet and you pick it up, you struggle to pick it up the first attempt. The second attempt, you pick it up and then you throw it. Even though the defense is already here, I think they could do better, and that's just bad concentration on the Austrian side here, and that's what we've been seeing all game, I think, for that O-line. Just not connecting, not doing things right. And I know they can do better. We all know they can do better. They've already beaten France, like at Windmill, and it wasn't quite close.
Wasn't even. Jan Novak came over, giving us some body language, wondering what our opinion was. We kind of just shrugged and not up to us. But it's the next play, and the Austrians are back in possession, or they were momentarily. And now that one's bobbled away, and Spalholz will pick up because of some contact.
Yeah, I do think that was a little more clear.
Bonnet leaping at it and now tapping it in for Spalholz. Spalholz gets the inside, and then the deep ball goes up. Reger looking to the end zone. At about the attacking brick mark. Rapotnik. He shoots for goal, gets enough space, and does find the receiver in the end zone.
Colantes with the score there. Put that in with enough angle to go over the French the French defender actually, and Colantes running after that disc. And Rapotnik shaking his hands in head in disbelief a little bit, because that was a risky option, let's be honest.
There it is again, over one, and Colantes makes the play.
Do you think he was trying to hit Fisher going inside and released it too early? It looked like that a little bit, but then Colantes was in the perfect position to pick up the slack for him.
I'm not about to start speculating here.
I am. That's what I'm here for.
We're allowed to. Just this simple moment, I'm not about to start speculating. So, 6-4. The other games of note, we'll try and bring those to you as we go as well.
So I have some results in the open division for you. Quite close games actually. Spain and Ireland, which you can watch on the other pitch, is 4-4, as well as Italy and Israel 4-4, all tied up.
And the first under to Ravo is negated because of likely a pick. Back into play, Ravo to Mate. Roger comes under. He's gone deep. It's Mate on the chase. Doesn't need a bid. Monus in the end zone, and that one floated out into all sorts of space. It's Roger who picks up, and the French score efficiently there.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication on the defensive pickup for the Austrians, because France so much space to work with and many more offensive bodies underneath that disc in the right position. Roger, on the other hand, on the other side of it, rather, putting the disc up, not receiving. And Mate puts that disc into space for Roger again. It's just a two-person game, looks like. Mate, of course, part of that under-20 contingent from last year that won the silver medal at JJUC, so a world vice champion.
Indeed he is. Other scores from this particular pool. GB is going wild over Netherlands. It's 7-3 just before half as you take a look at Mate putting his first assist on the board. Roble for the pull. Rolls and knocked down, and here comes Austria from their own end. Ernst goes to Novak. He winds up and blasts a deep shot. It's Breitenthaler underneath, and he goes up a bit early and can't come down with the Euro disc in his hand.
French defensive pressure.
Giffard. He goes to Roble. Roble goes around in the center. And Ebreto gets beat to the disc by Novak, who smacks it away. And Novak shoots. And that one too much. No, it isn't. Second effort. And the chaser comes and cleans up the garbage there.
Selemond with the goal. I think he just wanted that goal for himself. Is that goal and assist both for Lucas Selemond now?
No.
Is that how it works?
Let's see exactly how this works. So there's the block by Novak.
Picks up quickly. I like that.
And he's going to jack it quickly. We know this much. He did touch it there.
He did, yeah. I think it was just a bit too high, miscalculated his jump there, maybe just because of defensive pressure from the French. And then Max it along towards the end zone and gets it at the second attempt. Second goal for Lucas Selemond out of Kundl, where Frisbee started in Austria.
Kunde.
Kundl in Tyrol.
Oh, that makes it clearer.
It's the west of Austria. It's where the Alps are and where you can ski very well. And Wolfgang Mitterer, for example, is one of his teammates. So this region, I do think this is a name quite many people know.
Yeah, they could use
Europe.
him out here right now. Where is he? Get him back out.
I think he decided to
Hang up the cleats.
go other ways.
Well, for now, he'll be back.
I hope so. I think everyone on this team hopes so as well. So greetings to him if he's watching.
Here's the chase by the Austrians. French opportunity to take half if they can hold. The defense gets there first on the first throw, and there's a break chance for Austria. Kogard goes central. Bobinek spins and turfs. Now the French get a second try to take it to half. Roger. And he goes deep. Bonnet is there. Will he get there? Yes, he will. His layout ability will not be denied in this game thus far. Bonnet throwing himself around and gets through, threads the needle to Stangenik. Elliot Bonnet is having a day.
How did he get that disc? It looked like he jumped over it. And then somehow he ended up with that disc in his hands. I can't even believe it.
Yeah, this kid is firing on all cylinders right now, and his team couldn't be happier. Here's another look. Boy, oh boy, does he launch himself well. And
We get
one more
another one.
look.
It
Why
looks
not?
like it really looks like he's jumping over that disc and grabs out of the side. Grabs at the side. Ooh,
And
crazy
even
good.
the finishing touches here to throw with the mark coming on, goes through the defenders and finds a wide open Stangenik to take it to halftime. So the French looking strong here, 8-5. Started things off with a break, so they're going to start with a disc in hand. It could be a 2-for-none situation. We'll see what the Austrians can do about that. We'll see all about this second half coming up after this break. Let's look at the first half stats. Breaks, the difference in the game, of course. 3 of those for the French. Pretty clean game by the French, only 2 total turnovers. And the Austrians are going to need their defense to start generating just a bit a few more chances in the second half.
I think so, yeah. That they had one chance, a very good run through D by Bayer, just in front of the O line, and they couldn't get it. A throw directly into the ground. That's just in front of your end zone. That must really hurt. And I mean, for me to watch that, it really did hurt a little bit. And that's you got to take those chances. Teams like France, especially this French team, will not give it to you easily. They will not give you many of those opportunities, so you have to take those. We saw that on the stats. They had one break opportunity, and that went into the ground.
Yeah. There are the 2 things about that. 1, they need to generate more, and 2, when they get them, boy, oh boy, do they have to be precious about that disc. If it's taken back, that's one thing, but having mechanical personal errors with chances to break like that really hurts the team and your ability to claw back, especially being down 3 points going into half, starting on D.
Starting on D as well, so me personally, being very biased, I am hoping for a break. Like, get a break out of half. This will change the course of this game. And has to change now.
I thought you said you were hoping for a brick and just a bad
Brick.
pull. But you said break.
Uh,
But I heard it wrong for a second. I was like, that's weird to hope for that.
brick. I don't know. Maybe
I want
not.
the French
like,
to start from static in the middle of the field.
I
but
don't.
Christina does
actually.
not want that.
No, this is not necessarily what I want. There could be worse things though, like starting from half midfield or even closer. I hope for a good pull. If it's bricked or not, yeah.
So here's the pull. French, as we know, balanced lines. No O and D, running 3 even lines. And they're into play already. Ravo gives and goes with Combray. Now Mate. Now Bouchon comes under. Ravo to Bouchon. And we got a stoppage, a pickup field by the looks of things. Tap back in, Bouchon. Crash comes and then goes deep, and Bouchon got a little bit greedy there, chasing that one. A double team on the Crash as it went up.
Yeah, that defender jumping in from the other side of the field, not really getting the disc, but distracting both players enough. So Duncan and Crash.
Duncan goes deep. Bobinek's there. Manus and Mate join him. And Bobinek thinks there's some contact. He calls the foul. No contest.
That disc went out of his hands a bit awkwardly and wobbly, sometimes showing that he already had some kind of control on that disc.
Bobinek spinning around, looking for his option, finds Duncan. Duncan throws low, but gets a play. Hockmeyer goes deep, but too far. The bid comes, but it's beyond the reach.
Kyle with a heroic bid. Very high as well. It's not quite there.
So the French back. Ravo comes under to Bouchon, who generates space again. Chris Red gave the deep cut, but no disc coming for him, so Manus and Bouchon go back and forth. Bouchon fakes back to center now. Mate to Combray. Combray jacks it. Roger has space, and he's going to walk that one in. Nice put by Pierre-Louis Combray. A very deadly forehand out of him as per usual.
Yeah, that was on the money, that shot, and Duncan actually gave up on that, saying, yeah, I'm never going to get there. If he gets there, fine with me, but I cannot. Not the right mentality, in my opinion, just I understand the frustration to an extent.
There's Crash, as he's known. One of the best ambidextrous throwers in the world. That time not doing much throwing, just running catch drills.
Oh, that works.
That works too.
If you can do both, you're a perfect player.
I mean, you need a little bit of both. You can be a specialty player in any which skill or competency, but you got to be able to do a bit of everything out there. And it's back to typical Limerick conditions.
Hey.
9 to 5, what a way to make a living. That one comes down into the hands of the Austrians. And it's Fischer who kicks things off. Now the underneath pass. It's Zerlaut to Spalholz. Holtzy. There's the under. Colantes back to Spalholz. The big man. Rapotnik, and then shot into the corner there for goal. I can barely see through this nearly hail-sized raindrops.
Yeah, that's Spalholz with the score, but another Austrian receiver in the same area as well. And you see the rain, it's crazy, and it turned out to turn up just seconds after that ball was fielded.
This is preposterous. The weather is extraordinary. The French shirt's fully see-through now, the white t-shirt contest.
Oh, yes. And a nice setup for this end zone cut. Fischer getting the disc back and Spalholz in position, going towards him and opening up this flick side to get the goal. And players are asking what they're doing here as we are now taking precaution. We see Flo Moink.
What a game. We don't really have to tell you too much about this weather. It is very visual, visceral. This is extraordinary. Like standing on the front of a ship going through a windy Atlantic passage. There's water from every which direction here.
Everyone's
and
soaking
Roger
wet.
picks up. He goes deep in one throw. Delal on the chase. Nice pickup, left hand there. One throw offense for the French. That was easy.
That was far too easy, in my personal opinion. It was amazing and a very good put, but if you're Austria, that's the worst thing that could happen in these conditions, giving them the opportunity to score in one throw. Just make them throw 10 passes and a mistake will happen.
Yeah, we're making it far too easy. We're watching the last.
The torrential rain has stopped for a little bit now.
It's going to be sunny again in 5 minutes, so
Just wait for it.
that's the other reason why you come to Limerick. It really tests every element of your ultimate capacity. You can't just win on playing in wind, or just can't win on playing in heat, or just can't win on playing in rain. You got to be able to play a little bit of all of those elements and show that you can play in every single weather element that could ever possibly appear. You will see it here in Ireland, and that's what you've got to adjust to. That pole knocked down and now put into play. Fischer looks away his under. Kleinapple and Fischer go back and forth, and now it's Dovitz. Kleinapple. Ernst to Dovitz. Fischer. Oh, bobble and eventually dropped. Luca Bouchon picks up, crashes, going deep now. Ravo, now Monuz. The deep shot not taken. Ravo. Ravo shoots wide side and gets Combray. Bouchon goes up line, but wasn't taken. Now Combray goes deep, and Crash does pick it up just before the grass, and the French get the 11th on the board.
There was a hand of an Austrian defender on there, but nothing he could have done to prevent Crash from scoring there, and that's another break on the board for the French. Austria lost it in the handler space, and then France just moved the disc up the field slowly but surely.
Cyril Kayla knows why they host tournaments in conditions like this. Because it separates the mice from the men, as he says. And the only way you can get through a tournament like this is with the right apparel on you. So make sure you're wearing Force branded apparel to get through any conditions. So the French flexing their muscles into this torrential weather affected match.
To be fair,
11-6.
To be fair, I don't think it has affected them as much. Like the game we're seeing, of course it's rainy, but I don't think players have been affected so much.
Three turnovers in the second half. I mean, they're throwing completions more than anything here, so it's quite nice ultimate for these conditions. Rapotnik trying to isolate, goes to the inside to get Kleinapple. He fakes the big, then gets the inside, back to Rapotnik. Spalholz, he fires high and near the sideline, but it is brought down by Hochmeyer. Oh, and bobbled off the hands of Colantes. And the French have a chance to do it again. Cheré goes deep. Giffard is there. And contact there. Colantes trying to catch up. Giffard went up early. And that combination caused some contact.
I think that disc went over his head early. Yeah, and he agrees on the pitch. No call. He jumped up so high and super early, but that disc with the trailing edge going over his head into the ground behind him.
I think that was well resolved. The contact came, but I don't think there was a chance on that disc. And it now goes to the Austrians. From their own end, low pickup by Holtze. And he launches big. Is it coming back? It is coming back, but the chase can't get there. Kleinapple a few steps away. Herbreton picks up. Cheré goes to Fefe. Priot Martin. Chevalier. Quick movement there. And back to center through the hands of Lièvre.
But a pick downfield will stop play for a little bit.
Spalholz and Giffard, a little discussion about where they need to be. I think they're all happy now. Tapped back into play by Chevalier. Benvenien. Herbreton comes under, straight in the middle of the pitch. Benvenien again. His weatherproof pants ripping apart. Giffard fires up the line. He's got Cheré. Cheré goes to the end zone. Had a receiver there, and it bounces out of the hands of Lièvre.
3 defenders in the vicinity, but no one really attacking the disc the way Lièvre was, and just flew out of his hands toward the ground, as it does on the other side for the Austrians. And that's a score for Giffard.
And that happened very quickly, going back the other way again. And Giffard puts it on the board 12-6, doubling up the Austrians as the rain finally stops.
So that score 6-12 in favor of France now, doubling it up once again. this make it work kind of moment for Austria now, I believe, if they want to stay in that game or even keep it close anywhere near France. They have to go get those breaks now, not give those opportunities away anymore. The few they've gotten, because there have only been 2 in this whole game. 2 break opportunities Austria have created, and both of them
Squandered.
yeah. Thank you for that word. I couldn't have found that.
Happy to help. That's what I'm here for.
They'll have to hold on their offense now first, though.
Oh, they get a hold and then find a whole bag of tricks. But the
Right.
hold is
Crucial.
the key. And the pole sails back down. Dovitz collects and plays with Kleinapple. The under to Jan Novak. He winds up the backhand. And Robles spinning around on the mark trying to prevent. But Dovitz does get another touch and a pick called upfield.
As 2 Austrian offensive players run right into each other on the field. Of course, disrupting their opponents as well.
Dovitz winds up. He's gone deep. Receiver is there. The throw is on. And Austria get the hold as Fischer collects the huck for the goal.
And that was perfect. This is what Dovitz can bring to a team like Austria. Like the big throws, and he hasn't taken a single one of them. Fischer, on the other hand, someone who's versatile, has big throws and can also go deep and get it. And he just waited for that disc to bring it in the end zone.
Looking good are the Austrian flicks for this very moment, coming out of the hand of Dovitz. They're going to need a few more of those. Down 12-7. French receiving here, as frequently noted, not an O line coming onto the field, a new line coming onto the field, a polyvalent, versatile line, as the way the French like to select 4 and then run their operations, their internal operations. Some sideline antics happening in front of us.
We see this now.
Spalholtz showing you what these sidelines look like.
Not wet enough.
Great, wonderful display of what these players are dealing with, and they got to have a little bit of fun with it.
A great bid into nowhere.
Ravo goes to Red. Through Ravo again, and Mate. Back to Chris Red. Mate finds Pilou Combré with the snoot up over the nose right now. Combré centers to Mate, and Monuz comes under. He winds up the backhand, puts it away. Mate and Combré, they're happy to take their time here. Bouchon puts it back into the handler's hands. Mate and Pilou. Mate gets Monuz again, and the French are chipping away. They're taking their meters bit by bit. Ooh, Mate makes Combré slide around in this muck, but he doesn't mind. Roger gets his first touch of the possession. That's Quentin Roger, goes back to Combré. That one in to Roger again. Roger looked to break. A flat mark on him now, resets and throw to the open side. Bouchon gets a touch. Doesn't like the first open look. And then goes to crash Roger for the goal.
Good stuff from that Austrian D-line. They really put France into under pressure a little bit, into positions where they could only take the reset and reset again. They did that to perfection, but took them quite some time to score. Bouchon eventually going to put it in with a push pass to Roger, and with that up the line speed, nothing a defender really can do. Or, I mean, there is something probably, but it's really hard to defend that.
Roger having a game with a stat line that's not so standard for him. 5 goals. Normally more of a thrower, normally more of an assist getter. Today, he's just living in the end zone.
Regardless, we can see how important Roger is for that team. We've mentioned that time and time again, 3 different lines. But on these 3 lines, on one of them, Roger is a very important piece for them.
Most certainly is. The stats get evenly distributed on a team like this as well. Looking at our sheet, you see personal stats. They're very well spread out. The 5 goals by Roger, but besides that, not many collecting in the high numbers. Just a lot of even distribution, and I guess that's the way this team's been set up. So something's working. Spalholz finds Rapotnik, and you see that far sideline, like feet literally splashes coming off of them as they hit the ground with every step. Spalholz inside, break, and Chevalier cuts it off and knocks it away.
Still not attacking the disc quite right, or the Austrians. This is just a break side. Doesn't mean your defender is not on your hip.
Prior Martin. He continues and gets it back from Cheret. Giffard. Club members and teammates, these two, they've done lots of work together, and a great connection on this line between the two of them. Benvenien with the disc. Finds Elbreto. Chevalier calls the timeout. Thought this one was taking just a bit too long, and we're going to take a break too and come back after the timeout.
Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
And we're back in sunny, sunny Limerick. A beautiful day. Sun is shining. Well, it is right now, but if you've been watching this game, you know that has not been the case over the course of this one. We're here to separate the mice from the men. And it is astonishingly quite nice out in this very moment.
Well, I do think we promised you that, right? Check back in 5 minutes. It's going to be very different. There you go. It's very different. It might not have been 5 minutes, but super close. Close
5 or
enough
10.
to
We were at a near apocalypse not long ago, and now it is sunny, very little wind. It's unbelievable. Lievre comes under with his freshly peroxided noodle. Nanchere on the super dump. They lose some meters there. Chevalier. Prior Martin comes under. He goes wide side to Benvignen. Prior Martin gets the Austrian defense pushing the French back. Giffard backwards again. There's a gainer. Herbreto. He winds up the big. Then looks to center. Gets again on the give and go through Cheret and now Prior Martin. He gets a gainer. Benvignen makes a bid into the lake on that sideline. Now Giffard. Lievre. Herbreto. Chevalier to Giffard. They have been chipping away and they've walked it in. An efficient possession for the French, getting a lot of touches.
Yeah, again, grinding that O-line out because this is another break for them. And just working so hard are the French, going from one side to the other. To be fair, this is probably the best defense I've seen Austria put on them yet. But still, they haven't really been stressed by quite a... Not at all, actually.
Austrians have been given a couple different defensive looks, and their pressure's been good in the last 2 points. 25 throws to score the hold last point. 29 throws to score the break on this point. That's... Can't ask for too much more than that. If you're making them throw 20, 30 times, the defense is doing something right. But the French staying patient.
The problem is if it only takes one turn, and the Austrians are just a bit too easy with that disc, and they can't take it back even if you put pressure on. This will only grind out that O-line of theirs. I know I'm only criticizing now. I don't know how to change the mentality of players giving the disc away so easily. Because they know what's in store here. They know what's happening, right? They're not trying to throw turnovers.
No, nobody would ever try and do that. They wouldn't dream of it. These players are far too good, but the defenses are too. The conditions are tricky. So much can happen. Right now, the French, breathing down the barrel of another victory, could do it on this point if they're able to break again. But it's the Austrians who come under. Schmeid goes to Dunshan. Now Angera. He goes deep, and that is too deep. The French will get at least one chance to end this game.
Dunshire counting down the seconds the French have to pick up the disc. It's 20 seconds if it's out of the general zone, and French are on the way, trying to finish that game.
Big under from Bonnet. This man's had a big day putting up the highlights. Delal. Ebita comes under, but the throw not on, and they throw the way of Bonnet. He puts the foot down in bounds and brings it back. Bonnet finds Abita, who goes around to Roger. Axel Roger Throws wide. That's Bonet again. On the doorstep, up and over, and he gets a bita, and there's a big crash there. The Austrian body slid a long way through that puddle, did Dunshan, and because of the slide, landed underneath the Frenchman, Abita, who landed on the gravel path. No intent there, but a rough landing indeed.
Dangerous. Dangerous in any way. And then, like, Dungeon coming from behind, just knocking him out at the knees.
Well, that is a match. That's a wrap. As far as the game goes, we're going to try and see if we can get ourselves an interview before we shut things down. As usual, a reminder for all you at home, like and subscribe. Like this game. Subscribe to our channels. Be a part of the community. Get some sense of belonging. Give back to this wonderful community by being a patron. Get on our website and become a patron. There are the match stats powered by Force. 10 break chances to the French, 2 only for the Austrians, and they weren't able to do anything with those 2. And because of it, it was a very, very lopsided game. We've got Mr. Crash Roger coming into the booth. We'll have a little chat with him about the game, get some insights, and see how he feels about all this. Here he is now. Crash, how are you? Good game. So a perfectly normal Canton Roger stat line. 5 goals and no assists. Is that the way we always get to see you play, or what was happening out there? How come you were such a target today?
I don't know. I think we have this system with 3 lines, and on my lines there is a lot of endless, and yeah, they were running a lot, and I wasn't able to see the space to go to the disc, so I just waited for my turn to go deep, and it worked pretty well. So
yeah, it worked pretty well. You got 1/3 of your team's goals. Talk about the weather conditions. That game was crazy. How was it for you and the team dealing with that?
since the beginning of the week, we said that the team will be able to deal with the conditions. Will be a team get the chance to have the better chance to win games. So I think we didn't give a fuck about the weather, and I think we got more excited when the rain came harder. But I mean, what the fuck, this country is surprising.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then talking about your team there, probably your best result so far as your 3 games go. A pretty convincing win. 15-7 was the score line there in the end. How's the team feeling with a win like that in your last game of pool play?
I don't know. We didn't have the time to talk with the team, but I think, as you said, it's the best performance so far. We had a quiet start against GB, which I think we can do way better. Yesterday against Netherlands was quite the same of this game. I think we went a bit more harder in defense, and I think Austria didn't gave the best they had. I think they can do way better. So we also enjoyed a few mistakes.
Okay. Well, we'll be looking forward to see how you guys do way better. We hope we get you on the stream. Either way, good luck for the rest of the tournament. Thanks for being here. There's Crash Roger, Canton Roger. And he's going to go back with his team, have a little celebration after the game, and get ready for their next one. We are going to take this one away, aren't we, Christine? Any last words on the game?
Yeah, I think the French are really a power to look out for. Very impressive performance from them, not stifled by the conditions whatsoever. I think Roger also said that they're just happy to play here, and they're going all the way.
Well, they're looking to do that anyways. We will see as we go. Stay tuned. You know we've got nonstop action, some very enticing games coming up. I'll tell you what I can about the next ones because they will be on this field Great Britain versus Latvia, and then the battle we've all been waiting for to get our sideline cameras getting some wonderful color shots. Italy versus Hungary, or as some might tout it, Davide versus Zoltan.
In the mixed division.
We'll see you then. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thanks. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, ultimate.
ulti.TV.